That's right. We're back again. So tonight I've got my good friend Zach Hart from Melbourne. He works at Dynamic Tattoo down there. He's got a pretty cool story. He's originally from New Zealand and he has survived some crazy things in his life and he's travelled a lot. He's an amazing tattoo artist. Hey everyone, thanks for joining in. I'm going to bring Zach in and we'll see if we can get him in here. So, and then, we'll listen to the good man's stories. Pretty much survived lightning strikes 3 times, but we'll let him talk about that. So, Zach, how are you?
Hey, bro, how are you?
Good. Hey, mate, it's pretty dark there. We can only just see you very dark. Can we get some more light on that pretty face of yours?
I was hoping not for that.
Mate, don't worry. You can, I use filters all the time, so I'll run one over this.
Is that better?
Let's have a look. There we go, man. It's still a bit dark, but mate, we'll work with what we've got.
The darkness of lockdown.
So cool. That way you can keep your dark and mysterious sort of feel going on.
Thanks, mate.
How's your day been, mate?
Pretty good, actually. Yeah, it's kind of, I feel like it goes one of 2 ways in lockdown. Either like lazy and nothing happens, just eat and go on YouTube, or real productive.
Yep.
Today was the latter, so it was good, man. Heaps of painting. And, it's good. Good, man.
Nice. Mate, mine was pretty cool as well. Like I got up early. I prefer to get up early, and I trained this morning and cooked some breakfast and did a few emails and all that sort of stuff. And prepped up some artwork for later in the week.
Nice.
So cool. All right, so you've got quite the exotic accent. So everyone that doesn't know you on here, can you explain where you're from and all that sort of stuff?
I'm South African. Nah. I'm from Otatahi, which is Christchurch, New Zealand.
Yep.
The east coast, about halfway down.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I imagine growing up in New Zealand, you would have been exposed to a lot of tattoos.
I was, man. Yeah, for sure. I got pretty into it. Like my dad had tattoos. My pop had tattoos. My dad's stepbrother had a bodysuit, maybe like 30 years ago.
Yeah, mad.
My OG
That's
tattoo.
pretty heavy for 30 years ago.
Yeah, the guy that did it, his name's Steve Johnson. He's passed away
Oh
now.
wow, the mad Japanese stuff.
Yep. So he had a full body like before anyone did. It was crazy. So
wow. If anyone's interested in that, just Google Steve Johnson Tattoo New Zealand. There's a really cool clip on YouTube of him back, I think it's even in the 80s. And he's got his nice mullet. He's driving a Corvette. It's pretty wild. But he was doing some amazing stuff back then.
100%. Yeah. My dad had like the coolest tattoo. He had, on his right arm, he had a hot stuff.
Yeah.
On the his left arm, he had a really cool like American style eagle. So when I was into it when I was when I was like 8 or something, I was
mad.
Covered,
Yeah, so you obviously knew. So knowing all of that from a young age, how old were you when you got your first tattoo, and who did it for you, and what was the design?
I think I was like probably like just turned 17, and there's like I come from like a graffiti background, so there was a guy that like the king of graffiti from where I'm from. He was the tattoo. So I was like, whoa, this is sick.
I'm turning my light down. I'm showing off. Oh, man. Fucking hell. Oh, mate, I'll balance it out in a minute. Sorry, mate. Yeah. So, and what was his name?
His name's Mike Slade. He's
okay, cool.
Great tattooer. I was like, I already really looked up to him with the graffiti stuff. And then I was like, really wanted to get tattooed. So he had to be the guy, And
nice.
Yeah, I went in and got an outline of New Zealand on my shoulder.
Mate, as you do, mate. That's the way it was. But you got to, when you're young, all the testosterone is pumping, and you want to do stuff that means to you, and you're proud, and all the rest of it. That's cool. That's cool. And say, for example, sorry, mate.
It was a pretty funny experience. Like, I went in there, knew absolutely nothing, and his boss was like a old school, like, bikie guy, big grey beard and tattooed up, pretty scary looking guy. And he was tattooing this other young girl, and he probably tattooed her for like 2 minutes, and then she passed out, hit the ground. When she came to, she was vomiting all over the show, and I was sitting there going, "What have I got myself into?"
Oh, I'm next.
Yeah. I got through it in the end.
It's crazy. Like, if you like, I've had easy 100+ fainters over the years. Like, you don't get fainters so much anymore, I think, because a lot of things are booked in and people are laying down on massage tables. So there's a lot of that spontaneity, and and if they do get that big adrenaline rush and they're going to pass out, they're laying down. So it's a bit easier.
The bed definitely helps. Can't go when you're laying down.
Yeah, totally. So after you got that, like, did you then just, obviously you've got a good understanding of tattooing from your family, from the country. You're inspired by your mate here who's doing graffiti. What did you then get after that?
So I started getting a few more. Like, I got a couple more from him. And I got another one from a guy called Moorpork. His name's Sean.
Okay.
But one calls him Moorpork. And then I started getting. Then I got a few from Mark Sender.
Nice.
And then there was like I think that was all the kind of local people. Oh, and Matt Jordan as well. From New Zealand as well.
Cool.
And then after that, I was in. I was hooked.
Right. All right. So what were you doing for work at that stage after school, like before you started tattooing? Do you have any jobs or odd jobs? I went to
Canterbury University when I was 17 for 5 years until I was about 22. And in the last year of that's when I started apprenticing under Mike and Mark. They were tattooing me. Yeah.
Well, what did you study at that university?
Pretty boring shit. Economics and accounting.
Mate, comes in handy, mate. I'm sure your books are on point.
It definitely helps with the business and all that sort of things.
Yeah, nice.
A million different jobs when I was at uni. Everything from bar work to did like a summer of roofing. I did youth work. Did everything.
Yeah, cool. But I think that's cool. It gives you, a good grounding for when you get into it. So how did this apprenticeship start? How did it come about?
So they were both tattooing me. And I never really had thought that I could do it. I thought I'd kind of missed the boat. I know, weird thing to think, but they offered it to me. I'd never thought about it.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was that? Were you doing art as well and showing them stuff, or?
Oh no, not really. I mean, I was definitely doing art. I wasn't so much showing them it, but I was like, we'd all paint. They both paint graffiti, so we'd all be painting together all the time and hanging out and getting up to no good. And the friendship was like strong and already, so that was pretty cool. I was super lucky, super lucky. Yeah,
nice. So I think Rob Abel says, "What were you, an arm wrestler?"
Oh, far out. No, not at all. Bobby, far out.
Cool. All right. So with all of that, mate, that's amazing that you sort of lucked out and they've sort of offered it to you. So what was then your transition? Was it the usual stuff, sweeping the floor, making needles?
Yeah, doing all the cleaning and tube.
Fixing up their books.
Yeah, definitely doing all that, doing like drawing and making the stencils. Like, we didn't have the Thermofax, so we were using, I'd go run over it with a pen and hope that it was good enough.
Yeah. What year are we talking this?
2008, I think.
Okay, cool. Yep.
Nice. I was so lucky. Like, they're both really patient and really good at teaching, but they both all the first tattoos I did were on them.
Wow.
So that was super cool. Like, I remember doing, what did I do with Mark? I think I did a rose with a diamond in it. It took 3 sessions. It's only like this big, but so the first 3 were on him, and then I think the next 3 sessions were on Mike's leg. He let me do something, and then I did some stuff on myself, and then kind of progressed
awesome.
Friends and whatnot,
But that's cool because you get to see see how they're healing, all the rest of it, all that sort of stuff. You know, that's cool. And I think, you know, on your friends as well, you're not, well, maybe you are, but you're not as maybe nervous, but probably are anyway. But that's cool. What were you sort of, your first sort of jump onto customers? How did that happen? Or did you go from then onto friends and that sort of thing?
I was first doing like friends and like, you know, close, like really close people at the time that, you know, that knew what they were getting themselves into for. And then I'll have to check with Mike, but my memory is that the first kind of customers, I think Mike broke his hand. So he couldn't tattoo for a bit. He couldn't do outlines anyway. I think he could shave, but doing outlines was hard. Got thrown into the deep end a little bit with doing some customers and stuff, you know.
You can obviously see these comments coming through, can't you?
Yeah. Arm wrestling. I can tell you about the arm wrestling. I was like working as it was like my last year at university, or second to last maybe, and I was working in a kitchen, and it was the first day that I'd ever worked with this big restaurant. And the head chef was going around arm wrestling everyone. And I was boxing at the time. I was pretty fit. I was like, yeah, I'll give it a go. Like everyone was doing it, you know. And then he came to me. I was this scrawny little 17. I don't know how old I was, 20 or something. And he came to me, and then we started going at it. I got him all the way down. He's a big dude. I got him right down. As I went for the kill, he went up with everything and just snapped my arm right through there. I thought they were playing a trick on me, like I was the new guy, you know. But it was like
wow.
Yeah, it was crazy, man.
Did it go crack?
It did go crack. It was loud, and it was so loud, and I thought they were joking around. Like I don't know.
Wow. Wow. So I guess you got to keep the job?
No, an ambulance came because I passed go. An ambulance came, and I'd literally never seen any of those chefs ever again. They just vanished. Poor service. They just bailed. And I can think like a receptionist came and she almost fainted, and then I'd never seen it. I never went back. I was like, because I was off for like 6 weeks, and I was like,
wow.
I got a care package.
Well, if that story's anything to go by, mate, Evan said, like, tell me about your time as a jelly wrestling referee.
I don't know what he's on about.
Oh, mate. So, wow, that's pretty fucking mad. That must have been quite the recovery.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Yeah, well, all right. So after that, you started. So your mate broke his hand, and then what? You had to step up to the plate and start getting into it.
Appointments and then it kind of just like snowballed from there, you know.
Yeah.
And just never look back. I love it so much. It's great.
Yeah, cool. What sort of tattoos were you doing then? Were you branching out into traddy stuff, or just doing a classic walk-in style, doing everything?
Just walk-in stuff, and that's the stuff that people wanted. It wasn't it wasn't like really like I didn't know anything about traditional Japanese. It was just like whatever they want to do, you know. Yeah.
What were some of like the classic walk-in tats in New Zealand, like similar to over here?
Yeah, pretty similar. Like back then, it was like heaps of writing and it's like little symbols, and they'll start me off on the easier sort of stuff. But yeah, pretty much the same as here. Yeah.
So you didn't do many Southern Crosses?
Nah. I bypassed that one. That was not until I came here then that I started doing a few.
Yeah, mate. I remember I worked on the Gold Coast at Skin Effects for quite a few years, and in some summers, like you'd easily do one a shift. Like it was crazy. It was like all the tourists, all the surfers, and I remember feeling like, fuck, maybe I'm not patriotic. Maybe I need to get one myself. I didn't, because I didn't have much room, but I remember that thought clear as day. So, all right. So after all of that, like, how long were you guys working together? Because were you working together when New Zealand had that first earthquake?
Yep. So they were awesome, and we ended up opening a shop together called Engraved Tattoo, and we had that for like a couple of years, and that got destroyed. It got destroyed in an earthquake in 2010,
Yep. Wow.
Flattened to the ground. I actually put a photo up the other day because I was kind of reminiscing about it.
Yeah.
Up there, totally destroyed. Like the building was an absolute mess, like totally gone.
Yep.
And then for a few months we worked at other shop, like other friends' shop, like Matt Jordan's shop, a couple other
Yep.
shops. And then into 2010 or so, 2011, we opened another one.
Yep.
And then that got destroyed in another earthquake.
How long after?
It was within a year. It was within a year of each other.
Wow. Just talk us through that. So the first one, like, so did you Mike, and did you then go and open up with Mark? Is that correct?
No, the three of us had it together. Yep.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, man, that's pretty cool. Like being involved in it from early in the start. Back to that day, were you at work when the earthquake hit, or do you mind if I ask you these questions?
No, it's cool. It's good.
Okay.
I haven't talked about it for ages. The first one, it was like a Friday night, and we were in bed at I think it was like 3 or 4 in the morning.
Oh,
and,
wow.
I thought that my partner at the time was like shaking me, but then I quickly realized that it was an earthquake. Jumped up and we were like, shit, get under the doorway, because it was absolute chaos. It was so scary. And, we like wrote it out. I think that lasted like a minute or something like that.
A long time.
Yeah, it's terrifying. And then like you go to turn your phone on or the TV, and there's no power, there's no internet.
Right. So, yeah, everything's down.
Yeah, the first thing we were like is like, fuck, tsunami, because we live by the beach.
Oh,
so we're like,
wow. Yep.
Got some money and got our phones and jumped in the car, and I was like, we've got to go get my nana, because she lives like 10 minutes down the road. Lives on her own. Like it would be so terrifying.
Yep.
We drove around there, pulled up. This is like I don't know, 4 or 5 in the morning, like pitch black. Pulled up the driveway, and the whole driveway is cracked open, like a meter gap. So luckily, came to a halt. Like luckily the car didn't go in.
Yeah. Wow.
Ran up to the door and I knocked. Grandma, what's going on? She came to the door. We tried to open it. No, it's jammed shut.
Yep.
Fuck. Okay. Just try the back door, like the slider, jammed shut. The garage door, jammed shut. So to get my 80-year-old grandma out through the window.
Wow.
And she's sitting there like doing her makeup and stuff.
all in a day's work, like not too phased.
Yeah, she wasn't phased. She's like, hold on, I'm just gonna put my lippy on, it'll be right.
Yeah. This might sound like a silly question, but growing up in New Zealand, were like earthquakes regular or murmurs or tremors?
Nothing crazy. Like we'd have like a few small ones, and like we had like drills at school. Like you've got to get under the desk. Or get
wow.
Like a fires here. Like.
Yep.
But,
that makes sense.
It wasn't like a big part of your life until those ones in 2010 and 2011.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
What about like say that day? What did you do that day? Obviously, is there because your house? I imagine your house. Could you go back to your house?
Yeah, it was pretty badly damaged. I think I had like about 100 grand's worth of damage done to it. Like all the chimneys fell down and all that sort of stuff. But I think we kind of like. I think we might have all met at Mark's house, and then we're like, okay, let's go and check out the shop, because we'd heard bad things from like a few friends that texted us that lived close to it. And I remember we pulled up out the front, and like all the hard work that we'd done to build this shop, over the years, it just was gone. And
and what was that whole street? I imagine was just rubble.
Yeah, it was in the block of like. It was like just outside of the CBD, so it was in like a block of shops, like a kind of local, just like a local little group. There's probably like five shops, like a hairdresser's cafe. They were all totaled, gone.
Yep. Crazy.
I think like we were in shock, so we were just hanging out, and then heaps of crazy shit happened, like heaps of stories. But I think that night, like we'd heard, or the night after maybe, we'd heard like heaps of people were looting.
Wow.
Tattoo is going to be pretty high up in the pecking order.
The looting list,
So me and Mike like slept outside the shop with his dog and a baseball bat. That was pretty gnarly. And
wow.
Yeah, just
you didn't have to like chase anyone off, or you're pretty sweet.
We were right there, but the night after that, the police arrested a few people trying to get in.
It's so crazy, isn't it, man? When the chips are down, fucking opportunists are there, and you know, trying to fuck things up. Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, crazy. So with that, like you were saying, you went and worked around a few other shops, because I imagine all of that got locked down for quite a while, didn't it? Were you ever able to get back into the shop?
Yeah. A few days after we we definitely shouldn't have because it was pretty dangerous. But a few of us got in there for 5 minutes and just got as much stuff out as we could.
Yep.
But because the first one was bad. But the second earthquake was the really, really bad one. People lost their lives, and it really put everything in perspective. But I think there was I can't remember how many months it was between, but it wasn't a long time. But
like a year or 6 months.
Yeah, maybe like a year. Someone on here will know, but I got pretty. I was pretty low, up between. Pretty gutted, all that hard work, but then. When we opened a new one, and then it actually kind of worked out as a good thing. We had an amazing building, in the city. We got two new guys, Matt Jordan and Rat Corps, came on and worked with us. So it actually kind of worked out as a good thing, really.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Until the next one here. Yeah, mad. And that one, was that a daytime strike or nighttime or?
Yeah, the second one was daytime. So my memory, all the boys were in the shop tattooing, and then me, Rat Corps, and a guest artist that we had from Lithuania. It was actually his first day in New Zealand, poor bugger. We were at the supermarket getting lunch for everyone, and then it started, and it was so much bigger than the other one. It was terrifying. We were I remember me and Rat Corps were literally holding each other in the aisle, fuck, and everything's just going everywhere. And
madness.
It was insane. It was insane.
And then that one again as well, obviously the same old thing as well. You check on your friends, your family, and I dare say the city's locked down again, or certain areas of it. Yeah,
the whole thing got locked down, because where I'm from, it's it's like a square. There's 4 avenues. So actually the Australian Army and police came over and helped, and it was fully cordoned off. No one could go in and leave the police or whatever. But
so you couldn't get into the shop that time?
So we couldn't initially for a month, and then I was actually away on holiday, and I got a phone call from an ex flatmate of mine, and she's an engineer, and she's like, dude, I've got an opportunity. You guys will have to pay, got to pay someone off. We had to pay $1,000, I think, but we paid it off, and we got 20 minutes.
Wow,
it was crazy. So one of my friends was he had a removal truck. So we had him, my dad, Mark and Mike, a few of the boys, maybe 10 of us. We were in the back of this truck, and we got to drive into the no-go zone. It was apocalyptic wasteland. There was coffee cups still sitting on tables, and sandwiches and shit like that. And we got to go in and just we had 5-10 minutes and just to get it all out. Yeah.
Wow.
But the roof collapsed, so that heaps of the books were moldy, and heaps of the art was ruined, but we got all of our machines and heaps of stuff, which is good.
Yeah, crazy. So with all of that, was that what maybe prompted you to come to Australia, or when did that? What happened after that time frame?
Mark moved back to Australia, and then and I mean we were super happy before the earthquakes, but after that I was I think I need a change. I want to go. So it sold everything up and moved over in 2000. I think it was 2011, June.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
How were and why Melbourne? Because Mark was in Melbourne.
No, it was I've been here a few times on holidays, so with the boys over the years, and it just had such a thriving graffiti scene and tattoo scene. I'd always be online looking at 3 websites. It was Chapel, Tattoo Magic, Dynamic Tattoo. I was always looking at their websites, just scrolling So it just had to be, and I had a bunch of friends here and stuff like that as well. So that helped.
Yeah, cool. So I imagine those first couple of months in Melbourne was man, this place is epic.
Oh, amazing! I love it here so much. Great.
Yeah. When you landed, where did you start working in Melbourne then?
So I started at a shop called Voodoo Tattoo in St Kilda. It's an institution down here. Like,
yeah, totally. So many good tattooers have started there and
yeah,
gone on to greatness.
100%. So many good tattooers. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was there for like maybe like a year or something, and then I moved to Green Lotus for a while.
Yep. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, and then one morning I was laying in bed after like a massive bender, and I got a text from Rob Abel, and
Yep.
and he's like, "Oh, dude, I want to can we go for coffee tomorrow? I want to have a chat to you about something." And I was like, "God, I thought I'd like fucked up for something, you know." Like
what great timing!
the anxiety of the hangover, you know.
Was he out? Were you out with him that night before?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. But
Okay,
I did. You know, we were already friends. Like he'd actually come to Christchurch, and like it's a small town where I'm from. To get a sick international guest artist to come was pretty rare. And he came and like just before the 2011 earthquake, and I got tattooed from him.
Yeah,
so
nice.
It was amazing. It was like the best experience, and so we became good mates from there. And yeah, so he texted me, and I was like, what have I done? What have I done wrong? What have I done? I couldn't go. Like he was like, can we meet today? And I was like, no, I can't. I'm just like, I was like in bed, you know. And then I went the next day, and then he's like, yeah, me and Trevor have been talking, and we want you to come and work with us. And I was like,
nice.
Am I awake or what? You know?
Yeah, amazing, dude, amazing.
Mm.
So yeah, that's like, you know, like I'm a Melbourne boy, but growing up, like, yeah, all those shops you mentioned are the ones, and they're like the big hitter shops. So to go and work there is, you know, is a special thing, and to be invited as well. You know, not just like answering a job advertisement or anything like that. Like that's super cool, man. Like I've known Trev since I was 21. You know, I got a 3/4 sleeve from him then, and it was always like a dream to maybe one day I'll be good enough or close to good enough. And you know, years later, you know, I've come down and done guest spots at the shop.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh wow, it's a special thing, man. It means a lot. So that must have been like, how were the first few days or weeks? Like nervous?
It's pretty nervous. Like because I'd got a massive dragon from Trev on my leg like prior to that.
Yep.
So we knew.
Okay, so you've got a rapport with him already.
Yeah. When I first started, he was actually off because he'd had that back surgery. So the first few weeks was just like me, Rob, Jake, and Maddie. Yeah, I was super nervous, but they're all total legends, and they're like all lifelong friends, you know. But yeah, I remember like when Trev came back, it was pretty nerve wracking. Like I remember doing the first tattoo, and he was standing there like over me, and I was doing like this fine line. What was it, like a fine line compass on like a real tiny girl's ribs. Like, was there a hard tattoo than that? And he was standing over me, and then I was like, fuck, and we finished, and then he's like, what needles are those? Can I have some of those? Those are awesome. And I was like, oh sweet, all good. I'm in.
Yeah. You know more than anyone, like, but for me, whenever I would guess there, like, I'd always be nervous, and he just make you nervous quite easy, but not deliberately. It's just you know, because you want to do something good and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, cool. So obviously, by the time you'd got to Dynamic, I dare say you'd started going down your traditional road.
Yeah, for sure. I think definitely like quite a couple of years before that, I was pretty into the traditional and going hard on that. I mean, still working in street shops, so just doing anything and everything and loving it. And but yeah, traditional was definitely my vibe, you know. Yeah, cool.
So what you were just saying, you got a leg piece from Trev, like a big dragon. What else had tattooed on you up to that point? Like obviously, I think it's Mike and Mark tattooing you back in the day. And
I've been tattooed by Dean Sacred, he's one of New Zealand's top tattooers.
Yes.
Ben O'Grady, who used to be at Lighthouse, had done like, he came and did a guest spot at our shop. He did my forearm, he did like my traps. Been tattooed by Sam Rules because she came and did a few guest spots with us, which is awesome. She taught me to paint actually, which is I'm very appreciative.
Oh wow, awesome.
Yeah, which is cool. Who else? I've been tattooed by Ben Radats from Tattooed Hart. Who else? We had too many people to
Yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
So with all of that, when obviously, you know, working at Dynamic, there's a lot of cool Japanese stuff going there and trad. Did you start branching out? Because I was looking at your Insta the other day, and it was super cool. Like, you'd done a chest plate, and in the background, you'd done like dot work patterns.
Oh yeah.
Man, it was mad. It was so cool to like merge those styles.
Thanks, man. I think you can't. I don't think you can work there and then not get influenced by Japanese stuff. 'Cause everyone around you, like Daryl and Hank and Matt and Rob and Matt, everyone like that, just amazing Japanese like yourself when you come down, and like Rico when he comes over. So I love Japanese art. Like, I think it's amazing, and I think I'm trying to progress there slowly, you know.
Yeah, mate. I think you're being quite humble there. You're killing it. Like, I remember I was looking. I had one of your T-shirts on the other night, the snake one, and I looked back and I think I'm pretty sure that T-shirt's from 2017.
Yeah, I think I drew that when I was traveling, and then got it made when I came back into 2017. Yeah,
that's one of my, like, at least every 2 weeks that's in rotation.
Sick.
I was going to wear it tonight, but it's in the wash. So, but no, amazing design. So you've also travelled quite a lot over the years and done some decent trips. So can you tell us about some of those?
Yeah, so I hadn't really done much travelling before I moved to Australia. Like, just having the shop. It's, you know, like, it's amazing, but you kind of, you know what it's like. You kind of
responsibility.
Responsibility. You know, so I hadn't done much, and until I got here, and I've done a little bit. And then when I met my wife about 8 years ago, she's been everywhere, and she just inspired me so much. You know, like, she's been to Africa like multiple times, and been everywhere. So she gave me the bug. You know, So she's my biggest inspiration on that. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Didn't you guys do quite a long stint one time? Was it around the wedding time or something like that?
In 2017 we went to South America for 4 months. And traveled around most of the countries, like Chile, Argentina, Brazil, like pretty much everywhere. Like, it was a working trip as well. Like, I'd do, like, you know, a week of work, and then would go traveling for 2 weeks, and then I'd do a week of work, and then would travel for 2 weeks. So that was probably one of the top experiences I've ever had, I reckon.
Yeah, how did you, like, line up those guest spots? Just by Instagram sort of thing, or?
No, not from Instagram. You know Daniel Novus?
I know the name. Yes.
Billing guy. He'd come and work with us at Dynamic and stay at my house. So he was like, "Dude, if you ever come to Brazil, you know, come and work and stay at our house." So, and then I booked the ticket like 2 weeks later, you know.
Nice.
That was one point of contact. And then my friend Fergus that works at Melbourne Tattoo Company, he put me on to some guys in Chile. And then as soon as you know, and I've got some friends, like I've got my friend Walter in Paraguay, but as soon as you know one, that, you know, they all know each other. So then the next place you go, they're like, you know, you got to work here, you got to, you know.
Yeah,
so
cool.
Kind of snowballs from there, you know, which is awesome.
Yeah. Did you get tattooed in South America?
Did I get tattooed over there?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think pretty much every country I got. In Chile, I got tattooed by Nico Acosta and Yurko at Better Days. I got tattooed by Daniel in Brazil. I got tattooed by Felix in Colombia. It's what's it called? Sailor and Mermaids Tattoo. I got tattooed by Carlos in Buenos Aires at Well Done Tattoo, because I worked at all those shops. So that's
mad. That's always been my dream, to go to South America. I've got close a few times, but life's got in the way. Did you any conventions over there on that trip?
No conventions, no. It was just guest spots and hanging out, and then, you know what it's like. Like, the best thing is, like, you're staying with the local people at their house, so you just see like the total different side of it than any like, what is a tourist, you know? Like, I remember being at Daniel's shop, and we were all tattooing, and like it's in Rio, but it's way out, like not where tourists go, and we're all just tattooing away and having a blast, and then like all of a sudden there's all these gunshots going off, and I was like, fuck, and they all ducked, and because they were on the second story, and I'm dumb gringo, like, looked out the window, they're like, down, motherfucker. Yeah, that's really wild.
And then I imagine cracked up laughing.
Yeah, it's laughing at the white guy, you know.
Oh, mate,
Yeah.
crazy. So what, after that trip, like where else have you sort of been and been around?
I've been so lucky. I've been like all through Europe. Worked with Henning at Royal, and
Oh, wow. Yep.
yeah, and worked in Norway, and worked with Ferdo and Sam in Austria.
Yep.
Worked in Germany. Worked with Rob Admiral and all the guys at Admiral Tattoo.
Oh, mate, you worked with Rob.
Yeah.
So cool. Well, I lived in Amsterdam for 2 years, like 20 years ago, 2002, 2003. And I worked in like, you know, the wildest, not greatest shop in town, but, you know, but it was a great time. And it was around the corner from Rob's. And I'd ride past, I'll get the tram past it every day. And he'd have like the big, beautiful painted dragon in the window. And yeah, like Angelique was working there at the same time as well. And, you know, my boss knew them all. So, oh, hey guys, how are you? Blah, blah, blah. But yeah, such a cool city.
Oh, it's great there.
You know, and mate, Rob's phenomenal. What he's done, you know, with his version of Japanese tattooing is insane.
Definitely. Definitely got its own thing going on.
Yeah, cool. And okay, so now the third earthquake you went through, like Nepal, like I love Nepal. I've been there multiple times. I went there 2 years for the first convention after the earthquake, but you were there for the earthquake. I still saw all the ruins and you know, all the buildings propped up with wood and rubble, and you know, you hear the stories and see all the damage still. But man, that must, because it's a rickety old town at the best of times. It must have been crazy being there.
Oh man, yeah, it was life changing, that one.
Yeah.
Like, it's funny, like, because I actually haven't talked about it for ages, and then just this week, I wrote a short story about it all for a magazine called Lost on Earth. It's like a really cool traveling zine. You'd love it. I'll show you next time.
Yeah, please do.
It's like they do like two a year, and so it's all like real fresh for me because I've just been going over it all. But
yeah, wow.
Yeah, that was some life changes and stuff, man. I feel so bad for the local people, you know.
Yeah. Were you at the convention when that hit?
No, me and my friend Aaron that we're with, he's from New Zealand as well, another tattooer. We took it was like the Sunday morning, and we took the morning off the convention. We're like, we heard about like this really cool like local street party, so we're like, let's go and check that out before we go.
Yeah.
And we'd been walking like all day, like, you know, all morning. We're pretty knackered. We're like, before we go into this temple, we'll just have a seat and just kind of relax, take it in.
Yeah.
Luckily for us, we did that because the earthquake started and that temple just went boom, 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 right in front of us.
Wow.
Collapsed, and yeah, it was insane, man. Like, I can't even, it's hard to kind of explain it, but I've been through heaps of earthquakes back home, but this one was different. Like, it really did feel like the end of the world. Like, it didn't feel it was just happening there. It felt like it was the end of days.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because Nepal's not like a cosmopolitan city. There's still dirt roads and fucking, you know, cobblestone streets and all that stuff, and it's still pretty raw.
100%.
Yeah. So with all of that, like, obviously just chaos. What do you do then? Like, do you go to your hotel? Do you go back to the convention? Because you like but also you're on the fucking other side of the world, man. And to get out of Nepal at the best of times isn't that easy.
Yeah, no, it's chaos, isn't it? So we just kind of snapped into to just help everyone else mode. We weren't worried about us. So there was an immediate group of like some elderly people and like young girls around us. We just kind of calmed them down, and then there's two temples right next to us that collapsed, and all the young local guys had started like pulling all the bricks apart. So me and my mate were like, "Fuck, of course we're going to help." So there was just like dust and debris everywhere. We put our t-shirts over our face, and then we just started helping pull bricks out and trying to find people. And no one got pulled out of the one that we were helping with, but right next to us, a lady got pulled out, which is awesome. It's like, I think she was maybe 60s, and yeah, they pulled her out, and then like I knew it would happen, but about an hour afterwards, like all the aftershocks start happening, and you can't really be helping with the stuff because it's just chaos.
Too dangerous.
Or shit's falling.
Yeah. So that's obviously a characteristic of a big earthquake, aftershocks.
Yeah, and like that's one thing that we had to try to explain to all the people that are around us.
Yeah.
Because I've been through it. Like they were all trying to go back to their hotels and leave this, like, you know, the square they were in.
A safe area, essentially.
Yeah, you know, all the streets are so narrow, and like, you don't want to be there. So we were like, stay here because there's definitely going to be more, and of course there was. So we just had to like try to calm everyone down.
Man, did you? Because I remember hearing stories and people telling me, because like the convention was a convention at the Yak and Yeti.
Yep.
Yeah, which is like a big old palace or the big mega hotel there, and it's pretty much bomb proof. I got told stories that people were going back there and having to pay like $100 just to sleep in the gardens, and a bottle of water was $10, and you know you couldn't make a phone call. Is that something similar that you heard or you experienced?
Eventually after like when the aftershocks started happening, we started walking, like we were like, we've got to get back to our hotel and see if it's still there. And like luckily for us, it was. And so, and it actually was all right. So we
was your hotel in the Tarmel area?
Yep. It was there. And like, there was actually the South Korean guy that we were staying with. He was maybe, I don't know, in his late 60s, and he was an engineer, and he was like, he'd checked the building out, and he said, no, it's all good. But no one wanted to go up into above level 1, so we all just got our mattresses, and everyone just slept in the foyer downstairs. But all the staff and that were amazing, and it was crazy. Yeah, there was no power, there was no internet, so trying to get hold of like loved ones was pretty crazy. Like maybe a generator would come on for a bit, and you could send a few messages away. But
crazy. And then what's the time frame for you to get out of there?
So I think it was like maybe like 3 or 4 days before we could get a flight. So we were just like, just kind of limbo for a bit, you know, like we couldn't really help because it's too dangerous, and we didn't want to leave, but we had to because you were just sucking up resources, you know, like water's becoming scarce and food. And
so totally.
We got some tickets, and then but when we got to the airport, it was insane. Like it was just people everywhere, and people were like fighting, and it's like the best of humanity and the worst at the same time.
Totally.
After like a day of waiting, we finally got to the to give our boarding pass up to the guy, and he's like, "Oh, sorry, sir, that's your plane there," and it just took off the runway. Even though we've been waiting for like 20 hours, we're like, no way. And then, luckily, like he sorted us out. We like ran across the tarmac and got onto another plane. But
man, it's pretty mad. I've got a good tarmac story. I was there a couple of years ago. One of my mates and 2 other tattooers, Tim and Benji, and we went to do an Everest flight.
We did that.
But we couldn't do it that day because the airport had been shut down because a Black Panther was running around on the runway. And I'm like telling people, they're like, "You're talking shit." And I think I've got the news clipping somewhere because I was like, "Man, this is it," you know. So
Black Panther.
But crazy. So where did you go? Where did you fly out from there? Did you fly to Bangkok or something, or?
I think we flew to like Qatar. And then we flew to like, maybe Bangkok, I think.
Crazy.
Memories are hazy on it.
Understand. But mate, please definitely let me know about that magazine. I'd love to see it and all that sort of stuff.
You love it. It's good.
Yeah, please do. So, all right, please tell me when you got home you went and bought a Taslotto ticket.
I actually did the dumbest thing when I got back. I don't know, me and my housemate was like, I'm going to this, the Holocaust Museum. Do you want to come? And I was like, yeah, I'll come. And it just made me so depressed. It was worst decision. I was like, I was pretty like shook up and emotional, and then I was like,
Yeah.
that just ruined
Yeah, crazy, mate, crazy. But I imagine like even just going to Nepal without experiencing that, Nepal in general shapes you up and makes you look at life differently anyway. So I can imagine, like, you know, I can't. I can only try and imagine, like, yeah, crazy stuff. All right, so then you're back and you're working at Dynamic still, and everything's like rolling along nice. Any other trips that you've sort of done, or conventions you're working?
Yeah. Oh man, I've been so lucky. I've done so much. Like me and Hank, they used to work at Dynamic. We did like a Japan trip.
Oh, man.
Got tatted by Yosin and hang out with Rio.
That's, yes. Yep.
That was pretty cool. I got the Tabori and yeah, what else? Millions of conventions. Like done my first convention was what really solidified that I wanted to be a tattooer. It was like the Auckland convention. I think it was like 2008 at the Viaduct, and oh man, it was amazing. Like I was such a newbie. I had like no tattoos, but I got forearm done by Steve Wood, who works at Sacred, and I first met like Steve Marching and Shane Gallagher, Adam Kraft, Dean Sacred, all these like absolute kings, and and like we partied crazy, and it was like I'm like, yeah, I'm in, man. This is you know, I've done the New Plymouth one. I did the first Plymouth one. Like I think that was like 10 years ago.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, done that, which is awesome. You got to come over and do that with us.
Yeah, it's on my list. We've just had Niwa Traditional Arts. He's from Nepal. He's just started. How about the people in Nepal, mate? Nepalese people are amazing. Like
the best.
Yeah, so hospitable, so friendly, so inquisitive. You know, also so cheeky and happy and funny. Yeah. You know, I've been back, I think, 4 times, and you know, we talk about it in the shop. Oh, where do you want to go when, you know, when we can travel again? You know, in 2028. And on my list is Nepal, South Korea, and Japan again. You know, but yeah, Nepal's up there again for me for sure. Actually, I was lucky. I did a big motorbike ride. Went to Pokhara and did like a big 5-day trip with my mates through the mountains, and that's on my list again to do. So yes, love Nepal.
Yeah.
All right, so talk to us a bit about, like, because you're a pretty prolific painter. We can see you've got a bunch of stuff behind you, and that's been keeping you sane during these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lockdowns.
Yeah, like 2 years or something. Yeah, man. Yeah, like it comes in waves like anything, but yeah, painting's definitely been like the thing to just like relax you and get in that flow state, and yeah, it's been great. I just finished the biggest one I've ever done.
Have you got it handy? Do you mind showing us?
It's actually
you got anything handy, and you can.
I took it to the frame shop today, but it's like a massive tiger, like maybe like 2 meters tall by 1 meter wide.
Wow.
Yeah, it's for like a commission for a guy's house. So
yeah, cool. Because I see as well, you've done a lot. You do a lot of graffiti still, and you've I imagine you get commissioned to do those jobs.
Yep. So only do the legal stuff these days, but the last like 4 years I've been going pretty hard with all the mural stuff. My mate Ollie Newhook, who's a tattooer as well, and my brother-in-law Mark Lording. We do heaps of murals and stuff, which is cool, and yeah, it's pretty fun.
Yeah, awesome. Just talking technical stuff, paint wise, like what's your favorite paper and your favorite paints and brushes?
I mean, I try to use heaps of different paper, but I always end up coming back to the arches. I just bought like one of these. Where is it? A big 10-meter roll of it a couple of days ago.
Oh, nice. Like hot press, cold press, smooth, medium, rough.
I use 300 GSM medium. Which is, I don't know. I've used the smooth stuff, which is it's better for lining, but then it's harder for shading. But I think the medium's kind of best of both worlds, you know. Yeah. Yeah,
nice.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, cool. I love painting. Like you can just, it's so relaxing, and you just get right into it. Nothing else matters, you know.
Yeah. Well, you know, God knows how you guys are feeling. Like every couple of days, I watch the, you know, the news or get the updates of it, and you know, I loved one of the guys. He was saying mid-October there's an opportunity, which means nothing's going to happen. There's an opportunity for alfresco dining, and I'm like, yeah, we ain't tattooing for at least 2 more months, you know. So I was like, you know, I've been pretty good. I've done a bunch of stuff, but I want to dedicate the next 2 months to just flat out, you know, try and push myself. Hopefully this is the last big one that, you know, we go through, and hopefully you guys are out of yours, you know, sooner than later, you know, before, you know, retirement kicks in. So, yeah.
That's good.
So, all right, a bit of technical stuff as well.
Yeah, mate, yeah.
What sort of machines are you using? Like, I imagine you got 1 or 2 Mark Senders.
Got a few Mark Senders, yeah. My first machine from him, actually, because, that was pretty cool. Like, I used to get to go and wind coils with him, and color machines, and hang out in his workshop.
Cool.
And we'd put a skate ramp in there as well, so I'd be skating, and he'd be making the machines and hanging out. That was great times. But I've got heaps from Mark. I like you, man. I like collecting them. You know, like I've got heaps of machines from Marv and Morgan and Nathan from Lighthouse. He built me a set recently. Got quite a few D20s. I love them.
Yeah. I've got 2 of the ones which I really dig.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Yeah, like I went through the phase of using the pens. I tried all the Korean ones and a few others, and I loved them. But I don't know, maybe as I'm getting older, I don't know, coming full circle again. But I really dig those shag builds. They're really good.
They're good, man. I've got 2 Dan Cubans off Darryl, and I got another one off Josh Sotheby, and they're really good. But I like just mixing it up, you know. Even recently, like Darryl's been using the pens, and I've got one of those, and I like it, man. Like for the real big mags, like 25 and stuff, like it's awesome.
Yeah, mate. They're just they're another great tool to have in the repertoire.
Yeah, it's just like it's your craft, and I just want to try everything, you know. It's like that's the most. I think that's what I've learned the most from like Trev and Rob and dudes like Henning. Like they've been doing it longer than I've been alive, but they're still asking questions. You know, like I remember when I was working in Henning's booth, and he was standing there watching the tattoo, and he was like, "What's that machine? I want to get one."
Yeah. Crazy, man. What a surreal experience that would have been.
Oh, that was really cool. That was really cool.
Was Theo over there then? Because I know Theo used to come and work with you guys a bit.
Yeah. I love Theo. My crazy French friend. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, crazy school. So how would you describe your style now? Like, what's your work week? Like, what days when you can work? What do you do? Like Monday to Friday, Tuesday to Saturday?
I normally do 4 or 5 days, 11 till 6. And I especially these days, I'm just really trying to get a good balance. Like, not burn myself out. Make sure I've got like heaps of other stuff going on apart from tattooing. You know, like I think it's easy to get too full on and like too crazy about it. You know, so like I'm playing heaps of sport and doing heaps of cool stuff with my wife and painting and not
awesome.
Just trying to get the balance. You know, it's hard, but.
It is hard, mate, but that's good. I think just, you know, by listening to your story tonight, from starting off from uni, for all your life experiences and all your travels, you know, having a hand in the graffiti world and still doing murals and still traveling, man, it sounds good, you know, and you do have to do it. Like, you know, I've been forever saying I'm going to do 4 days a week, and it's never going to happen. I've finally come to, you know, accept that. But that's cool. But then I'd work flat out, and then I'd have time off, blah, blah, blah. But that's cool, man, that you work that balance out. But also as well, because most tattooers, our wives get neglected and our partners get neglected. So, yeah, power to you both, man. It's good.
Yeah, I know what to do.
So plans for the future, or is that the $1 million question?
It's hard at the moment to make any plans, you know?
Yeah.
I've got a few things like and like coming up soon, like some cool murals and commission paintings. I really want to do the exhibition again that we did a few years ago.
That was going to be my next question, because that was, when was that? 2020 or 2019?
I don't know. Yeah, I know you came
who
down.
knows? It's just a blur. But that was a really cool. I know it was like a shop group show, but you were pretty much the driving force behind it. You know, I think everyone collectively pulled in their circle of talent of friends, and you know, Trev got a lot of people from the States and Europe, and you got Yosen and a few others from Japan. I think Joel was down working with you guys then.
I'm not sure if he was maybe still with you or.
Yeah, because I think I know I came down for it. I'm trying to think if Joel was there. Yeah,
he was definitely there, but I can't remember if he was like still at Little Tokyo or if he was with us.
It
was a great night.
We'll have to ask him.
But
that was a great night. That was such a cool night.
Yeah.
Oh, he wasn't there. There we go. Well, you were there in spirit, Joel.
Yeah,
oh, there we. How bad am I? We came down together. What a loser. Sorry, Joel. Sorry.
I fucking forgot to eat that day. All I drank I just drank beers all day. It was massive. Crazy.
But mate, that was a great thing, and it was a great thing of like the Melbourne tattoo community came together and checked it all out. It was really cool. I think like we did after our last lockdown last year, we did a shop group show very similar to the same sort of line, and it was good. We did it under the restrictions, but I think because people had been craving so many things to do, and there was lack of human interaction and just lack of stuff to do, basically. Like, you know, we ran it through like COVID, 45-minute shifts, cleaned them out, cleaned the studio, got the next batch in. But mate, definitely do another one if you can, and I'll if the borders are open, I'll be down in a heartbeat.
And I'd love to take your offer on bringing you up to Sydney afterwards. You know, I think that'd be really
cool. Totally. Let's run dual ones. The tale of two cities.
We raised heaps of money for charity that night as well, which was awesome.
That's right. What was the charity again?
It's called Homie. They're like a clothing label, and it's like a non-profit.
Yeah.
And they help homeless people by giving them clothes and haircuts, and then they do like educational training and like helping with the CVs and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool to give them a big check afterwards as well. Yeah,
amazing. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, you know, if we can help others, you know, it's a good thing to do, especially now. So, you know, how's your circle of friends and stuff going? They're dealing with this as good as can be.
Yeah, I think everyone's all right. Most of them are artists as well, so kind of in this side. But I just I just feel for the owners. Like, I'm not an owner of a shop anymore, so it's pretty chill for me. But like for you and Trev and Evan and all the boys, like if you got it's a lot harder, you know.
Oh yeah. Last one for us was a lot easier than this one. Like now you're just burning money every week, and you know there's really not much help as there was last time. Like, I really do hope the government's going to step up a bit more if they can. But, you know, hopefully common sense will prevail, and, you know, we'll be back to doing what we love soon. If we have to wear a mask and a spacesuit, so be it, you know.
I'll chuck a bubble on.
Amazing. All right. So, Zach, the time's flown, mate. Thank you so much. So what's the best way for people to contact you if they want to get tattooed by you? And also, do you have any merch for sale at the moment? Any new T-shirts? Any new prints?
Yeah, just easy. Just through my email or Instagram, and I'm pretty used with like a website. But I've always got prints and paintings and T-shirts of some. But the best way is just to message me, and I can send you photos or whatever. I need to get a big cartel, but I never get around to doing it.
Mate, you know, too easy. All right, mate, I really appreciate you sharing some pretty, you know, deep and personal stories tonight. It was really cool. And, you know, I've always enjoyed bantering with you when I've seen you at Dynamic, and I'm a big fan of everything. So thanks so much for being part of this. And yeah,
it's awesome what you're doing, man. I think it's a great little, great project, and you do heaps of awesome stuff for Australian tattooing, man. It's really cool.
Thank you.
Australian tattoo history thing, I love it, man. It's awesome.
It's good. That's on my list this week. A few people have kicked my ass for not doing much on it lately, which is true. But yeah, I'm I've got some stuff lined up this week.
Yeah, okay,
Cool. All right, Zach, thank you so much. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, guys.
See you guys. Thanks, mate.